Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host, Davion. I'm joined by my boy Omega.
What's going on, y'all?
And today we are back talking about some Myers Park hoops, man. How we feeling, man? How we feeling anyway? And how we feeling about Myers Park hoops?
Boys on that streak still, man. Getting dubs out here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this is the unofficial podcast for the Myers Park Hoops basketball team. Just link us up, give me my media passes, and I'll meet you at the state championship. Simple.
Oh
But
yeah.
anyway, we we are back talking about Myers Park. So here's some updates on Myers Park. They are now 15-2 record. This is the best start they've had since the 2007-2008 season. Nationally, they are ranked fourth by Max Prep in the country. And by ESPN, they are ranked 16th. The state polls, they're ranked number one in the high school OT, and then number one in the Observer. This team is breeding championship mentality. We've been to a couple of we've been to three of their last six. They played Huff, Audrey Kell, Northwood with Drake Powell, who's a UNC commit. We went to the Olympic and South Met game as well. So let's talk about the past games. I mean, they blow Huff out 70-35. They beat AK 54-38. They beat Northwood 63-70 to 47. They beat Olympic 58-35, and then they blow the doors off South Meck 50 or 68 to 40. So out of all these games, which one of these games to you were you most surprised with?
None of them. I wasn't surprised about none of. Well, Northwood, I wasn't really familiar with their team. I just knew about Drake Powell, but I didn't think they was gonna beat them like that though. But Sir Muhammad had a good game. He hit like 5 out of 9 threes.
Yeah,
Sadiq been balling this year, really.
I
But
agree.
yeah, since you know what I'm saying, since Elijah left, he done had a bigger role on his team. He done stepped up. Boy, still a junior.
We got another
And
year.
yeah, but nothing really surprised me. We the best in the city.
So we're best in the state.
State, yeah. What's
So
that?
let's talk through the games we went to. So we went to AK, Olympic, and South Meck. Let's start with
Yeah.
AK. AK came out. Honestly, for some reason, I just expected more out of them, but to me, they didn't really give them much of a run. AK was honestly a little like defeated, and first
AK had a
half,
better team last year, bro.
yeah, they definitely did have a better team last season. But that came and went for AK very fast.
Oh yeah.
When you look at to me, Olympic was the most surprising game for me. I mean, they
Oh
go
yeah.
the first half, Myers Park honestly just did not have it. Huh?
I forgot about that game. I'm
Yeah,
tripping.
I mean they just didn't have it. They went at the end of the first quarter, it was 12-9. I mean, Olympic was starting freshmen, sophomore, juniors,
It was
and Myers
junior.
Park struggled. Maybe that's coaching from Olympic, but they struggled in the first quarter to really find the rhythm and really get it going. What did you see from Myers Park in that first half of that game that really set them back?
I think it was just Olympics defense. They had a good plan for my part. They were basically trapping everything off the pick and roll, basically, and it was just a gritty team, like real what I call an aggravating defensive team.
Absolutely.
Like they're not better than my part, but
They
they
wanted
weren't
it.
scared of my part and put it like that.
Yeah, I think they went into the game thinking like if we lose, like we probably gonna lose anyway. So
Yes.
like why not truly go balls to the walls and we're gonna go out here and play the hardest defense and aggravate them and get their team chemistry off because that's what it looked like to me. To me, Myers Park's offense just looked like they were lost. They didn't have any cohesion. And honestly, it looked like they played down to their opponents. Like I think them going into it, they were like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
this team's not good. Like we don't have to wake up for this team. And it showed in that first quarter. I mean, you saw frustration from top to bottom on that bench when it came to Myers Park that in that
Uh,
first half, and even into the second half. But the thing is they're such a good team right now that they can have those frustrating games and still be able to bounce back to in the second half, and they even bounced back in the second quarter. It wasn't that close throughout the whole game. It was just
yeah.
more of a frustrating game to watch.
They should have won by 50.
Exactly, but it was a lot closer than anybody would want it to be. And so I mean, looking at that, I see a big swing from that Olympic game on last Tuesday night, to the South Meck game. So we were at that South Meck game. I mean, we know South Meck Myers Park is one of the biggest rivalries in the state.
Yeah.
We went to Myers. We don't like South Meck, even
Oh,
if we've been gone for 5 years and we still don't like them. So when you look at South Meck and Myers, South Meck I think came to this game. They might have been they were 13-1. Or no, 14-1.
14. Yeah.
14-1. They were 3-0 in the conference. I mean, they had a complete team that was ready to compete against Myers Park. Now the thing, they got this kid, Petey Moore or Mole or whatever his name
Moy,
is.
Moy, I
Peter
think.
Mole. Yeah. I mean, I seen him play when he was in eighth grade with Bishop. And Peter, I mean, he could shoot that. He shot that thing
Oh yeah.
consistently. And it did not matter who was guarding him. And I think I was seeing them, it wasn't close at all.
Oh no.
Not at all. It was out of hand. But to see that kid, still put up shots and get his was pretty cool to see. But it wasn't it wasn't close. Myers Park had him in a box all game long. It was a complete and utter domination. And I think that's how you bounce back from that game against Olympic. There was nothing good to take away from film on that game. But that South Met game, if they play like that for the rest of the season, and we're about to get to that. They'll be fine. So we are at that final stretch of the season. So a question I have for you is, when you look at a team like this, who are now 15-2, one of the top ranked teams in the country, how does complacency set like in your head? How does it settle in? And like how do this team stay on that level that they are at against that played against South Meck? How do they stay on that level heading into the final stretch of the season?
I say just don't get too big headed and you know what I'm saying, don't get too complacent.
Absolutely.
Just keep playing hard, keep playing the defense they've been playing all year. Cause that's their best thing to me, that defense.
Yeah,
The boys like playing defense. You can tell if you go to a game or you can watch film, they like playing defense. And
absolutely.
I'm saying just keep balling, huh? Nobody in the state really seeing them. So and they don't have any more out of state games this year. I don't think.
No, they have one more against AC Rollins, well, Asheville this
Oh,
week,
that's oh yeah.
and then that's it.
AC Reynolds.
Or Reynolds, yeah. I think this weekend, the 27th. So next weekend. No, this weekend. Yeah. Jeez, already the 21st. What are we doing? January flew by, but
Don't buy, man.
I'm telling you. So, and one more question I have for you. How do you keep, if you're the head coach, if you're Coach Taylor right now, how do you keep egos from parents, from kids, from just everything? How do you keep the noise out of the way from your team? How do you keep the egos at bay? Because that
Uh,
that that will start to trickle up.
I think just keeping the boys like close to each other, like practicing hard, and you know what I'm saying. All the coaches like being on them, but like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Just think just keeping the boys close and practicing hard. That's all. That's all it really is. Like
Yeah.
don't don't get into all the little. I don't know how to explain it, but
The
like
small pity
yeah,
party
yeah,
arguments. Yeah.
yeah, all that. Yeah. So try to avoid all that stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
To me, like if it's me, like listen, I think I'm reminding us what our end goal is. I'm reminding us what's that light at the end of the tunnel? What are
Oh yeah.
we here to do? What's our primary job? Huh? State championship? You want to go back to back? Is that what you want? How do we get there? How do we stop? I mean, how do we keep the noise away? Like you said, we're keeping ourselves in a chamber, keeping yourselves like in a tight knit group to where it's like you will not, you cannot get it. You can't bother us. Stay off social media. Stay off Twitter. Don't listen to what anybody's saying, and don't get in small arguments with other teams that become irrelevant. Just don't do it. Focus on your number one goal, and that is winning a state championship. In my opinion, that's what I would tell my team. And so Myers Park has 7 more games left. They have Barry, Reynolds, Palisade, AK, Olympic, Barry again, and then South Meck at home on this
Conference.
the
Seven.
16th. Um, is the last home game, last game of the regular season. What what's the record you expect to come out of these last 7 games?
I don't expect them losing either one of those teams. Be honest, not being cocky in a way. I just know what we are. It just I don't expect them to lose it to any of them.
Yeah, no, I don't either. If they were to lose to one of these teams, I think that would be one of the biggest disappointments.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
None of these teams, and this is no, well, you can take the disrespect if you want. I don't really care. But none of these teams are on the level that Myers Park is. Just being blunt. I mean, there's none of these. If Olympic actually, if they had to pay 4 quarters of perfection to beat Myers Park, same with South Meck.
Facts.
Myers Park can play 75% of themselves, 50% of themselves, and beat these teams. But if these teams, if you want to beat Myers Park, you have to play perfect for all 4 quarters. And I don't know. I mean, this is high school. I don't think any team's going to play perfect for all 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's the thing. That's the kicker for them. They should go 7-0.
Hmm.
Yeah, they should go 7-0 without a doubt. Going into first what so it would be conference and then states.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we get to the end of February. We got a lot of basketball to go to, man.
Yeah. Hey,
But
when playoffs come, I don't want to. Hey, anything can happen, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
oh, you know it. I mean, that's where the egos start coming out at, man. You get to the playoffs, you play some of these teams you haven't seen before. They
Yeah.
drop 40 on you in the first half. You gonna look real sick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but we'll have to just wait and see what that looks like. So looking at let's talk about oh, I had something. Let's talk about oh man, it's gone. It's gone. I don't even know what I was gonna talk about. Let's talk about one of these games. Let's talk about the South Mech game on the 16th. So let's say you make it 6-0 to that point. You go into South Mech at home, senior night, um, and they come and upset you. What's that feeling? What are you feeling as a coach? What is your conversation to your team?
Uh, really nothing. Let's get ready for playoffs. But you know what I'm saying? They probably. I don't know. We're gonna probably have to. You know what I'm saying? Wait and see. But like,
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, just tell them to get ready for playoffs.
yeah.
Cause really, they just. I don't know. I just don't see them losing South May. The
I
way they
don't
just.
either. I
Yeah.
don't either. But when
I
when
get
you
what you're saying though,
when you
but
talk about if, ands, and maybes, it
like,
gets real tight.
oh, nah, facts. Yeah.
Um, so you got any final thoughts on Myers Park basketball right now on how they're looking or any words of encouragement that you want to send their way?
Uh, keep playing hard. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Oh, I remember what it was. I would remember what I was talking about. You mentioned defense that Myers Park is.
Oh yeah.
All season long since we've started this Myers Park podcast, we have been preaching that this team is a defensive minded team.
Oh yeah.
Hands down, one of the more defensive minded teams in the country. Defense, 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 even from the coaching staff is what they preach first. I think you could easily, and let me explain to you why I think it's one of the most important things ever. If you're having a bad shooting night, but you have defense, you got your fallback plan. Let's
Oh
keep
yeah.
them under 20 points. Let's keep them under 15 points a quarter. Let's keep them under 10 points a quarter. If you can have defense and consistently play good defense, then I think this team will go very far. I think the minute they get or that loses their mind or they escape their one of their pillars of success, that's when they will start to fail. Whenever you stop playing defense, whenever you let go of some fast breaks or lose in transition or whatever the case may be, that is when you will lose. So if Myers Park can continue to play defense to the way they're playing, I think they'll be fine. I think they will be fine. And I'm excited to see what happens with that. I mean,
Yes, sir.
they held some of the top teams in the country to some small defensive number, like Paul to six. Like yeah, I know you lost, but you held this team to something pretty miraculous. So that's one of the things that I think they could definitely stay and hit on is that defense should come first. No matter who scores, no matter what it looks like, you will figure it out down the road when it comes to shooting. But defense is the way they should lead. So if you ain't got nothing else, man, I'm all good here as well.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
y'all listening. Let us know how you feel about this. We are the unofficial but official podcast of Myers Park Basketball Hoops. Give me my media passes. Give us our media passes. I'm sick of buying tickets, man. I don't got $8 every day. All right, you got to get that back. but Meg, I appreciate you joining. This is good. We'll try to get more of these out. I know we took like 2 weeks off, but we'll try to get more of these out. I've been your host, Davion. That's been Omega, and this has been the post game. Peace.